always thought that'd be a cool job. I don't know if I could come up with enough stuff on one spot to be interesting enough.
You underestimate yourself.
Maybe. A lot of pressure though.
If you know hockey, just watch the flow and then you'll be good at it.
Are these like the point totals for like per player?
I just took them off the ACHA website and wrote them down. Yeah. I think they're pretty close. That website's usually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Within a goal or two, yeah.
Do you ever get any messages about last names? Because some of them have to be pretty hard to pronounce.
Yeah, I've done enough of the Calvin games. I know theirs, but I got like for Michigan, I went and talked to the coaches. I got those, yeah. It's one of those things. If you butcher it, you just keep going.
Yeah.
You know.
Roll with it.
Right.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Calvin University Sports Channel on YouTube. And this Vezina Cup semifinal matchup as the number one team in the land in Division III, that being the Calvin Knights, hosting the Michigan Wolverines for a right to go to the Vezina Cup championship game, which will be coming up tomorrow night. They'll take the winner of this. Will take on the winner of Grand Valley and Oakland in a battle of top 10 teams over on the other rink here at Patterson Ice Center. Yours truly, Captain Lou, here again with you tonight. It should be a good one between the Knights and the Wolverines, as Michigan's out now in their white jerseys with the maize and blue trim blue helmets. Calvin will be out shortly in their home jerseys. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this. Test 1 2, test 1 2, test, test, test. Testing 1, 2, 3 test. Testing 1, 2, 3 test. Testing 1, 2, 3 test. Test 1, 2. Oh. All right, everybody, welcome back as Calvin now has come out on the ice for their last warm-ups, and we'll get ready for the playing of the national anthem and the starting lineups. This Vezina Cup semifinal matchup just about set to go. All right, let's send it down to the public address announcer, Buck Janot, for the starting lineups and the playing of the national anthem. It's the Knights, it's the Wolverines, and it's coming up next right here on the Calvin University Sports Channel. All right, the playing of the national anthem. The starting lineups are set. It is go time in this Vezina Cup semifinal matchup. The winners get the winner of Grand Valley and Oakland tomorrow in the finals at 7:30. That ought to be a dandy matchup as well. So it ought to be a dandy here tonight as well. Goaltending matchup here tonight for Michigan, the visiting Wolverines. It's going to be Paul Baker, 11-0-0 with a 195 goals against, 926 save percentage, and he's got one shutout. And for the Knights in goal, it's going to be Ryan Warroz, 11-0-1-1, a 122 goals against, 959 save percentage, and 7 shutouts. So two of the best goaltenders in the MCHC locking up here tonight in this Vezina Cup semifinal. The Wolverines in their road white jerseys, blue and gold trim, blue numerals, blue helmets. They'll be going from right to left, and the Knights in their home gold jerseys with the maroon and white trim, maroon numerals and helmets. They'll be going from left to right on your television screen, computer, however you're watching us around the world here on the Calvin Sports Channel on YouTube. Puck deep in the Calvin end to start things off. Big hit right at the blue line laid by Connor Place. Now it's going to be picked up by Zach Muhammad. He's got 12 goals on the regular season for the Wolverines. Puck played out at center ice. He brings it up over the line. His pocket is picked by Affman. And here come the Knights. It's going to be played up over the line by Owen Hodel. He throws it down just off the goal. In behind the net, they'll play it. They'll dig away at it deep in the Michigan zone. Played over in the near corner. Held in by Grishitov. He throws it towards the net, deflected in traffic. He tries to hold it in. Now here come the Wolverines. Potential odd man rush. Bringing it up over the line is Chi. He's bounced into the goal. And a whistle and a stoppage of play. The goal comes off its moorings as well. And we'll get a face-off down into the Michigan, or in the Calvin zone. All right, face-off will be to the right of Ryan Warroz. Calvin controls the draw. They'll throw it, and it gets deflected up off the safety netting and out of play. Good crowd here at the Patterson Ice Center. Calvin bringing a lot of fans for this one. The number 1 ranked team in the land, that's Calvin in Division III. Looking to keep a stranglehold on that, held in. There's a shot in traffic, kicked away, taken by Cumming. Now back out into the neutral zone, played by Klomparens. He'll dump it down around the boards. Michigan will chase after it as well. About a minute and a half into this first period, still no score. Michigan will slow things down as they will look to try to set it up, direct traffic a little bit in their own end. Played in behind the goal. They'll dig away at it there. Now played over on the far side. Lifted out into the neutral zone, tipped right to the Knights as they look to regroup with the puck. Owen Hodel gets his pocket pick, bounced off the puck though was Schlee. Played around the boards now all the way out into the neutral zone. Michigan will chase after it. Blazia will play it there and he'll go off. Now it's dumped down into the Calvin end. Schweigert will chase after it. He'll backhand it and the Knights will chase it out of the zone. Heilman will throw it down around the boards and he's hit as he dumps it down into the Michigan end. The Wolverines will skate it out into the neutral zone. They'll lift it to the blue line. Heileman will knock it down and they'll play it and they'll chase after it. Chasing after it, Gabe Sova in behind the net. Tommy Postel as well will try to make a play on it, but the Knights now will play it back and Sova will dump it down around the boards. Play in the Michigan zone, just about 3 minutes into this opening period, no score. Puck tipped out to the center ice area. Backhanded by Gabe Sova. He'll dump it down off the boards in behind the goal. Michigan will slow it down and the Knights will wait for him at the blue line. 3 minutes gone in this opening period, this Vezina Cup semifinal, as it's tipped back down into the Michigan zone. Wolverines try to clear, lift it out to, or an attempt to lift it out to center ice, and it's knocked out of play. Well, these two teams rich in history in the MCHC. Michigan 3 years removed from winning the national championship in Division III over Hope out in Marlborough, Massachusetts. They're looking to try to get back to the national tournament. They're on the bubble. They would need what would consider to be an upset win tonight. They get that over Calvin. There's one tip just wide. That might propel them into the top 16 as Michigan looking to try to be well represented, the state of Michigan that is, and the MCHC in the national tournament down in St. Louis coming up in a little under 3 weeks. Puck drop for Division III. Michigan, meanwhile, tries to clear the zone, and it was cleared by Tiller as it's played out to the blue line. Tipped out into the neutral zone, bounced off the puck. Now Michigan will grab it back in their own zone. Pressure being applied by the Knights. Played back into the Calvin end. They'll regroup with the puck. Try to make a play on it out to center ice. This one will be tipped down into the Michigan end. No icing as it was tipped, dumped down by Owen Diker. Play a little too strong that time for Tiller as it's now played back into the Michigan zone. The Wolverines again look to regroup with the puck. A battle with two goalies with gaudy numbers here in the MCHC. Ryan Warroz and also Paul Baker for Michigan. There's one kick towards the net. Another one that sails just wide. Played over to the far side. Connor Place tries to make a play on it. Deep now in the Calvin zone. They'll look to clear it. Nate Sova tried to make a play on it. Now it's played back out into the neutral zone and dumped quickly back into the Calvin end. Holloman will play it around the boards in behind the goal. He'll go off for a change. Puck now out to the blue line. Here comes Michigan. Calvin's got numbers, but quickly bringing it up over the line. Drew Speaks knocked away and played back out into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Cumming. He'll skate with it at the center ice line. He'll get it to Speaks. Speaks brings it up, looking to set it up. And this one went behind. That time Zach Muhammad. Michigan dumps it down into the Calvin zone. They have to touch up onside. Calvin will chase after it. Trying to make a play on it, Lammers. He plays it out into the neutral zone. Miles Redersma, 13 goals on the regular season for Miles. As we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. 5.5 minutes gone in this opening period. Both teams still scoreless in this Vezina Cup semifinal. Calvin got here with a 5-1 win last weekend over Aquinas. Michigan with a big win over Northwood, ranked opponent in the ACHA, as now they get this semifinal berth played out into the neutral zone. Brock Harth will throw it down into the Michigan end, and the Wolverines again will regroup with the puck. They'll skate it out of the zone, played out to center ice, bringing it up over the line. There's a shot deflected in the high slot over to the near side. Coming in with an opportunity, a whistle. And we're going to get a stoppage of play. I think we might get a penalty call, our first of the night. And we'll see what they call here, as it looks like we're going to get a Calvin power play. Time of the Michigan penalty, 6 minutes and 2 seconds. And that's indeed going to be Ty Esterline going to the box for Michigan. So we'll see what that penalty is. Calvin with the power play, and he scores! Well, the Knights didn't take long on that power play. First attempt, and it looks like it's going to be Owen Diker getting the power play goal. Time of the Calvin goal, 6 minutes and 7 seconds. And for Owen Diker, that's goal number 5 on the year. And for the Knights, that is a power play goal. 1-0 Calvin early in the contest. .608 the time of the power play goal. Nate Sova will get credit for the assist. Here comes Michigan, though. Nifty defensive play in the slot, tipped away, held in at the blue line. Thrown around the boards by Chin Lin. Play still in the Calvin end. Knights up 1-0 on the Owen Diker power play goal at 6:08. Michigan with the puck up over the line. No, bringing it in on goal with a shot, a rising shot up over the top of the goal. Connor Chi with some wheels. Puck still in behind the goal. Played over on the near side, and the Knights will get it out of the zone. Quickly bringing it up over the line. Dieleman plays it over to the far side. Dieleman was the one that got credit with the assist on that power play goal. The blast from just inside the blue line, tipped in by Diker underneath the crossbar. Played back out into the neutral zone. Holloman will have it there. A little back and forth with Ian Schweigert and dumped into the Michigan end. So the Knights are on the board first with the power play goal, up 1-0. Played out into the neutral zone, thrown around the boards, and an icing call will come of it as Cole Evans wasn't able to get it down into the zone, and we'll get a power play down in the Michigan end. One nothing Knights on the power play goal. All right, off the face-off. There's one that sails just wide in behind the goal. Puck pinned up against the boards now over to the near side. They'll try to kick away at the puck held in by Holloman. Again, he'll throw it around the boards in behind the Michigan goal. They'll fight for it over on the near wall, and Michigan able to clear it. Well, actually, they tried to clear it. Good play by the Knights to hold it in. Deflected out into the high slot area, now played over to the near side. Michigan again trying to control the puck, trailing 1-0 here in the early going. As it's played around the boards, held in at the blue line by Holloman. There's an opportunity. Redersma's shot sails just wide, back out into the neutral zone. Quickly they'll skate it up over the line. Schweigert, his play tipped. Redersma has to backtrack, retreat after the puck. Here comes Michigan. They'll dump it down around the boards in behind the goal. Played over to the far side. A big hit over on the far wall. There's one that now is going to elude the Michigan defenseman, go all the way back into the Michigan zone. Trying to chase after it as well. Nate Sova. Here come the Wolverines. They'll skate it out into the neutral zone. They'll play it down towards the net. And it's gloved off by Ryan Warrose, and we'll get a face-off in the Calvin zone. 10:46 to go in the opening period. 1-0 Calvin, thanks to Owen Diker on the power play at 6:08. Face-off to the left of Warrose, still loose in the face-off area, and over to the slot. Play deflected. Here comes Calvin. Quickly, they'll skate it out of the zone, out to center ice. Oh, a big hit right in front of us. Brock Hart laying the lumber up over the line on Ethan Bork as it's played over on the far side. There's an odd-angled opportunity up over the top of the goal. Played around the boards, now tipped out into the neutral zone. It'll roll back into the Calvin end. Aftman will come up with it. He'll play it out into the neutral zone. Turf Tillard laid down. Hit right in front of us, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play, much to the delight of the partisan Calvin crowd here tonight. And we'll see what comes out of this, as we will get a Michigan penalty, it looks like. And I don't know if we've got a Calvin Knight going to the box, as it looks like it's going to be Ethan Bork going to the sin bin for Michigan. So here's another opportunity for the Knights. Time of the Michigan penalty, 9 minutes and 48 seconds. See what Calvin does on this power play now with a 1-0 lead. Face-off will be to the right of the goaltender of Baker. Calvin controls it in behind the goal. Centering play just wide of the goal. Played over to the near side. Lammers has it at the blue line. Plays it far side. Calvin looking to set it back up again. Now they'll play it over to the far side. Sova cross ice pass. Lammers with a shot again. That sailed just wide. And this one will shimmy its way into the neutral zone. Quickly Sova will skate it up over the line. He's met at the blue line, and Michigan able to, or they tried to clear. Good play by the Knights to hold it in. My head was on a swivel looking the other way. Calvin's got it now. They'll skate it cross ice. Now this one will float off the stick of Grishatop out into the neutral zone. Owen Hodel will skate it back over the line over to Grishatop. He'll throw it around the boards. Sova will wait for it. He'll corral it over on the near side. Over to Grishatop. He'll slow it down. Sova skates it far side again. Try to center one. He's trying to get it to Eisma. Eisma back out to the blue line with it to Hodel. Hodel's shot gloved off by Paul Baker in traffic. 49 seconds left with the extra attacker. 9:01 to go here in this opening period. 1-0 Calvin looking to add to this power play, with the power play. Face-off will be to the left of Baker. Tipped around, controlled by Calvin. Affman holds it into the blue line. Now Michigan, though, able to corral it, and they'll throw it around the boards. This one will go in behind the Calvin goal. The Knights will slow things down now. Try to get something going with a half a minute left with the extra man. 8:40 to go in this opening period. Affman throws it just wide. This will go in behind the Michigan goal. The Wolverines will come up with it. They'll wind up and blast it out to center ice to the stick of Affman. He's got to regroup with the puck. He'll get it to Redersma. Redersma will skate it up over to the far side. He'll bring it up over the line. He's got Owen Diker waiting for him in front of the net. He's bounced off the puck. Owen Diker comes up with it. Back out to the point with it are the Knights. Comparnes plays it over to the far side. Michigan back to full strength. Redersma, he'll hand it off. Diker has it over far side. They'll skate it up into the high slot area. He'll one-hand it. Backhand play deflected. Here come the Wolverines. They'll skate it out of the zone. They'll bring it up over the line to the far side. Mohammed with a spin move. The play just wide. Looking for Connor Chi. Now here comes Calvin. They'll skate it up into the neutral zone. Played right in front of us at center ice. Michigan comes up with it. They'll tip it down to the blue line. Back and forth now we go. 7:33 to go in this opening period. 1-0 Calvin. Played over on the far side, tipped around, and played now out into the neutral zone. Out to center ice it goes. Deflected around. Played out right in front of us. Now it'll be played out again to the Michigan blue line. Michigan comes up with it, back and forth with it still. Now played by Otson at center ice. He'll play it around the boards. This one will go to the near corner. Michigan trying to make a play on it. They're pinned up deep in their own end. Calvin with good pressure here in this stretch as it's played down into the Calvin end. And a good play by Holloman to necessitate a icing call. 6:50 to go in this opening period. 1-0 in favor of the Knights. Owen Diker, the power play goal at 6:08. Zach Westrick will take the face-off as he'll go up against Henry Belazia. Played over on the far side. Michigan comes up with it. They try to clear. Played around the boards. Check that. That face-off was won by Zach Muhammad for Michigan. Held in by Redersma. He'll throw it around the boards in behind the Michigan goal. 6:35 to go in this opening period. Puck played out to center ice. Here come the Wolverines up over the line. Drop pass, little give and go. Muhammad with an odd-angled shot. Shouldered away by Warrose. Played out into the neutral zone. Back to the Michigan blue line. Wolverines recover. They dump it down wide of the goal. Going to be played down there by Josh Philo. He'll play it out into the neutral zone. Quickly cleared back in behind the Calvin end. Calvin will look to clear the zone. Good move by Hodel. He'll go coast to coast, get it to Diker. Diker far side up over the line. He throws one towards the net, deflected in traffic. Here come the Wolverines. Quickly up over the line, Alpern. He'll drop it off. Nifty move, backhand shot, sails wide by Andrew West. Played over on the far side, held in by the Wolverines. Alpern winds and fires, tip! What a save that time by Rose. Redirected, he got his right pad on it, able to kick it away. Over to the near side, deflected out of play. Good heads up save, the best one of the night so far for Rose to keep it a 1-0 Calvin lead. Good redirect by the Wolverines and just as good of a save by Rose to keep it a 1-0 lead. Face off to the right of Rose, fought for, tipped around, and floats out into the neutral zone. Van Scheppen tried to make a play on it. Here comes Dieleman with a shot deflected over to the near corner. Van Scheppen goes after it in the corner along with Dieleman. Michigan trying to clear. They get it out into the neutral zone. Affman will just throw it wide. He was hounded that time by Schley. Schley tried to make a play on it. Now it's back into the Michigan zone. Under 5 to go in this opening period. 1-0 Calvin. Puck played out to center ice. Wolverines will bring it up over the line. Played over on the far side by Hurst. There's one into the glove of Ryan Warrose, and he'll hang on to it. We'll get another face-off in the Calvin end. 4:43 to go. Here in this opening period, 1-0 Calvin. Face-off will be to the right of Warrose. They'll fight for the puck as it's thrown over to the far side. Met over there by Cole Evans. He'll throw it around the boards. He tried to get it to Poppy. Now played back out to the blue line, held in by the Wolverines. Belazia, there's a shot, he scores! One-time blast by Henry Belazia. And we're all tied up at 1. Time of the Michigan goal, 15 minutes and 32 seconds. Oh, good play by the Wolverines. A lot of traffic in front of the net. Belazia found the corner, upper corner of the net. And we got a 1-1 tie for Belazia, his 3rd goal of the year. Knotting it up at 1. This one throwing down around the boards over to the near side. This one will be played out to center ice. Holloman will play it. Puck played over on the far side, now up against the boards. 1-1 score, 4 minutes to go opening period. Calvin holds it in. There's a Schweigert shot, just wide. It goes in behind the goal. Puck played over on the near side. They'll fight for it there. Up against the boards, it'll be thrown around to the far side. Now tipped out into the neutral zone. Bringing it up over the line. It'll be Drew Speaks. Speaks comes in. Point blank range. Puck picked, or stick picked up right at the last minute. Puck played over to the far side. Good play to hold it in by Place. Up towards the net. And we get some pushing and shoving after the whistle. As business is starting to pick up here in this opening period, we've got a 1-1 tie. Henry Belazia ties it up at 15:32. And we'll get a face-off down in the Calvin zone. Well, Michigan, I was talking with Matt Stripling, the head coach of Oakland, who's playing Grand Valley in the other semifinal. They said Michigan is right around 17th. And we know to get to the Nationals, you got to be in the top 16 in the rankings. The final ones come out after this weekend's game. Boy, the win today over top-ranked Calvin would do Michigan a world of good to try to sneak into the national tournament. And after that, it's anybody's game in the Nationals in pool play, as we've found out through the years. Puck played in behind the Calvin goal. Now here come the Knights. They'll skate it out of the zone. Played by Hodel. He'll skate it up coast to coast. He'll throw one in behind the boards over to the far side. This one tipped out into the neutral zone. Krishatov tried to make a play on it. Now it's out into the center ice area. Here come the Wolverines up over the line trying to make a play on it. Place. Little spin move over by the left faceoff circle as he throws it in behind the goal. Michigan looking to center. Out to the blue line. A little give and go now in behind the goal. 2:20 to go in the period. Puck deflected out into the neutral zone. The Wolverines will knock it down. Cumming will throw it down into the Calvin end. 1-1 tie. Played right in front of us now. Calvin will look to clear it. Out into the neutral zone. Played around the boards. Ryan Warrose will slow it down as it's played back out to center ice. This one tipped over to the near side. Michigan had to touch up on side. Under 2 minutes to go in this opening period. Sova dumps it around the boards and goes off for a change. Played over to the far side. Here's a giveaway. Calvin's got it point blank range, and he scores! On the giveaway, Brock Hart went in and threaded it top shelf. And Calvin regains the lead, 2-1. Time of the Brock Hart goal, 18 minutes and 18 seconds. Oh, a costly giveaway by the Wolverines, and Brock Hart made them pay on that one. And for Brock, that's his 8th goal of the year. 2-1 Calvin. Oh, big play. Good play by Lammers on the helper. Here comes Calvin. Again, Lammers will throw it down to the blue line. The Knights have to get on side as they throw it around the boards. Oh, a big goal in the last couple of minutes of a period. Those can be backbreakers. Owen Diker holds it in. Played over on the far side, tipped up against the boards. They'll try to kick it away. Michigan comes up with it. Wolverines now will try to make a play on it. Played out to center ice. Calvin right there for the puck. Affman's got it. Tries to clear it. Gets it to Diker. Held in though by the Wolverines. Played over to the near side. Under a minute to go in the period. Puck held in at the blue line. Good play to hold it in by Donakowski. Now it's played out into the neutral zone right in front of us. Up over the line, Owen Diker, but they're going to say that Yakinen was offside, and we'll get a face-off just outside the the Michigan blue line. 39.5 left to go in the opening period. The Knights back on top of the Wolverines by the score of 2-1. Face-off outside the Michigan blue line, controlled by the Wolverines. They'll play it out into the neutral zone. They'll bring it up over the line, making a play on it. Connor Chi, loose right out in front, knocked over to the near corner. Wolverines hold it in. Connor Place has it. He'll skate it up over to the far side. There's one towards the net, right into the breadbasket of Ryan Warrose, and he'll hang on. 18.7 left to go in this opening period. 2-1, Calvin on top. Face-off will be to the left of Ryan Warrose, the goaltender for the Knights. Face-off controlled by Calvin. They'll look to throw it around the boards over to the near wall. Nate Sova's got it there. His cross-ice pass up over the line. Redersma, 10 seconds left to go. Coming in with a shot! Right into the Michigan emblem of Paul Baker. And he'll hang on with 5.2 left to go here in this opening period of a 2-1 hockey game. Well, the winner gets the winner of Oakland and Grand Valley tomorrow night here at Patterson again, 7:30 puck drop, which whoever wins, it's going to be a dandy tomorrow night as well. Held in quickly and dumped over to the far side, and that's going to do it for the opening period of play. 20 minutes into the books here in this Vezina Cup semifinal. Owen Diker opened it up for the Knights on the power play at 6:08, his 5th goal of the year. Then Henry Belazia evened it up for the Wolverines at 15:32 with his 3rd of the year. And then on a giveaway deep in the Michigan zone, Brock Harth buried it top shelf for his 8th goal of the year. That's the go-ahead goal at 18-18. And that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. Calvin on top of Michigan by the score of 2-1. All right, we're going to step aside, catch our breath, and we'll be back in about 13 minutes for the second period of play. 2-1 Calvin over Michigan here on the Calvin University Sports Channel. that. All right, welcome back, everybody. The second period just about set to go here from Patterson Ice Center, the home of the 2026 Vezina Cup Championship, the postseason tournament for the Michigan Collegiate Hockey Conference, the premier Division III conference in the ACHA. We got a good one here as the number one team in the land, the Calvin Knights, with a 2-1 lead over the 17th ranked Michigan Wolverines in the ACHA. Important because the top 16 teams in Division III qualify for the national tournament down in St. Louis. And that starts with the M1 and M2 on March the 12th, and the D3 tournament starts on the 18th. So about 3 weeks to go before the D3 tournament. And we've got a good preview here with these teams. Over on the other rink, the winner of this one, by the way, gets the winner of Oakland and Grand Valley. And after one period of play over on the other rink, Oakland, the third-ranked team in the country, they've got a 1-0 lead over Grand Valley on a shorthanded goal. So that's a good one over there. Those two teams mixing it up for the right to play in the final tomorrow night. All right, both teams back out on the ice as they will switch ends. And we'll get things going. Michigan in their home white jerseys with the maize and blue trim, blue numerals, blue helmets. They'll be going from left to right. Calvin in their home gold jerseys with the maroon trim, maroon helmets, white trim. They'll be going from right to left on your television screen, your computer, however you're watching around the world here on the Calvin University Sports Channel. 2-1 Knights as we begin the second period of play. Puck tipped right out in front of us at center ice. This one's going to float out to the blue line. Nate Sova will come up over the line. He'll hand it off to Westrick. Westrick will play it over to the near corner. Played out into the neutral zone, up into the center ice area. Drew Speaks will throw it around the boards over to the near side. Pinned up against the boards now as it's played out to the blue line. Held in out to the point with a blast, sailed wide. Rebound went right through the goal crease. Over to the near corner. This one will be lifted out into the Michigan end, and we'll get an icing call on the Knights, and we'll get a face-off back down into the Calvin zone. 52 seconds into the second period. We've got ourselves a 2-1 Calvin lead. Owen Diker at 6:08 on the power play gave the Knights a 1-0 lead. Then Blazia tied it up at 15:32 for Michigan. Then Brock Hart at 18:18, the go-ahead goal for the Knights. They'll regroup with the puck. They'll throw it down into the Michigan end, and the Wolverines will regroup with it. There's one right out in front. Oh, gloved off by Paul Baker, as Calvin was that close, as they say, to going up 3-1. Face-off will be to the left of Paul Baker. Michigan wins the draw. They try to clear it. Good play by Calvin to hold it in. Eisma threw one towards the net that was deflected in behind the goal. Michigan comes up with it around the boards, now played out to center ice. Grishatov will hold it in. He'll throw it back down into the Michigan zone. Played around the boards now, throwing towards the net. Icing will be called on Michigan, and we'll get a face-off down in the Michigan zone. Face-off will be to the left of Baker. Still in the face-off circle area, thrown around the boards. This one will be held in at the blue line. Puck deflected, rebound, and no, it's right out in front. No goal. They're going to wave it off. It looked like they had one the first time. And they're going to say they're going to wave it off nonetheless. Much to the chagrin of the partisan Calvin crowd. Looked like it may have gone in twice, but the referees were right on top of it. They waved it off. So instead, we'll get a face-off again in the Michigan zone. They're going to talk with Austin Huizinga over on the far side, give him an explanation on why the goal did not count. Looked like the first one went in, but obviously it didn't. Then the tip looked like it went in, but they had blown the whistle apparently. And they said no goal. And after a discussion, Coach Huizinga satisfied, I guess, as much as he wants to be, as it's deflected back out into the neutral zone. Here come the Wolverines chasing after it. Was Andrew West. Puck deflected over on the far side. Now played out into the neutral zone, tipped over down into the Michigan end, held in at the blue line. Played now back out to center ice. Tipped. West will try to make a play on it. He's going to be hooked. We're going to get a penalty coming up to Calvin as it's tipped, and we'll get our first Michigan power play. Time of the Calvin penalty, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And we'll see who gets to go to the sin bin for the Knights. It's going to be Ian Schweigert. So Michigan's first power play at 2:15 of the second period. Off the draw. Michigan controls it at the blue line. Played there by Place over to the far side. Played around the boards. Calvin chasing after it as well. Schlee tries to come up with it. Calvin now will come up with it, and they'll knock it down into the Michigan zone. Owen Diker with some wheels trying to make a play on it. And we get a whistle. May have been played with a high stick by one of the Michigan Wolverines, so we'll get a face-off down in the Michigan zone. And we'll get a couple of fresh legs out for the Knights on the penalty kill. Westrick will take the draw against Zach Muhammad. Off the draw, Michigan wins it. They'll bring it out to center ice, chasing after it, Esterline. His pocket is picked, now back into the Michigan zone. Good pressure shorthanded by the Knights as it's cleared out to center ice. Skated up over the line. Chi brings it over to the far side. He'll look to set it up in the corner. Good cross ice pass to Muhammad. Back out to the point with a shot deflected in traffic. Calvin able to clear. They'll throw it down the length of the ice in behind the Michigan goal, and we'll get a regroup, and it'll be played out to center ice. Puck brought up over the line, played there by Schlee. He'll throw it around the boards, chased after by Esterline. Now back again in behind the goal. They'll fight for it there. Played out to the blue line, held in by Place. Again, he'll play it over to the near side, back out to the blue line, far side. There's a shot off the shoulder of Warrose over into the corner. Back over to the far side, Connor Chi has it. Little give and go. Played in behind the goal, half a minute left in the Michigan power play. Puck pinned up against the boards. They'll kick away at it there, played over to the near corner. Here come the Knights. Quickly, Diker, shorthanded. Lead pass for Postal. Boy, there's another scrappy one for the Knights. Now played the other way. Here come the Wolverines. Still 12 seconds left. Here comes Muhammad up over the line. Skating it in behind the goal, looking to set one up. Over to the far side. He'll drop it off. Odd-angled shot. Kicked away by Warrose over into the corner. Around the boards. Calvin back at full strength. Played deep, though, in the Calvin end. Around the boards, they'll try to play it. Now here comes Dieleman. Dieleman up over the line. He's met in the face-off circle area. Michigan tries to clear. Postal holds it in. Played over against the boards. He'll go off for a change. Michigan comes up with the puck around the boards. Hopped up over the stick of Lammers, and this one will go down into the Calvin end. Around the boards, played over to the far side. The Knights will look to skate it out of the zone. They do. Michigan right there, though, for it. Played out to center ice. Now over to the near side. Puck played around the boards again, now held in at the blue line. There's one right out into the slot area, but Calvin able to get it out of harm's way. Good pressure by Michigan to try to hold it in. Puck tipped high in the air, right at the Calvin blue line. Oh, big hit right in front of us at center ice. Dieleman laying the lumber. As Greg Feemster felt it as he heads off over to the Michigan bench, and icing will be the call on Calvin. 14:31 to go, second period. Still a 2-1 hockey game in favor of the Knights. Good crowd here again supporting Calvin. Oh, held in at the blue line. There's one that sailed just wide. Played over to the far side, held in at the blue line. Michigan plays it around the boards, chasing after it. Cole Evans back out to the point, held in briefly. Oh, a big hit. Dieleman laying the lumber on Menderada. Played now towards the Michigan goal, knocked over to the near side. Out to center ice it goes, back into the Calvin end. Played near side. Now again, Michigan will try to regroup with the puck. Donikowski throws it around the boards. Diker meets it over on the near wall. Klomparin, or Von Scheppen rather, tried to make a play on it. Still, Diker comes up with it as they fight for it off the boards. He circles with the puck, drops it off to Schweiger, but his pocket is picked. Quickly, Michigan comes up with it. Esterline up over the line to the far side. Backhand play deflected off the board. Centering play right through the goal mouth. Played out to the blue line. There's one thrown wide, looking for a carom off the boards. And we get a whistle, 13:20 to go. Here in this second period, still a 2-1 hockey game. Calvin on top, Vezina Cup semifinal. Face-off will be in the Calvin zone. Off the draw, played over on the far wall. It'll be played out into the neutral zone. Michigan will throw it back into the Calvin end, played by Belazia. He's got the Michigan goal here tonight. There's one, tipped right out in front. Oh my goodness. Michigan almost caught him sleeping. What a play by Drew Speaks to take it away, and he was point blank range in front of Warrose. And Warrose had to be Johnny on the spot to make the big save to keep it a 2-1 hockey game. Off the draw, Michigan controls it, throwing it around the boards over to the far side. Grishitov tried to make a play on it. Hodel will come up with it. He'll lead it off. Here comes Calvin. Redersma with some wheels gets it to Hodel. One-time blast by Sova. Right in front of the net. Baker with a big save. Throwing around the boards again. Michigan will look to try to clear. They are able to get it out into the neutral zone. Redersma brings it up over the line. He's bounced off the puck. In behind the Michigan goal. Nice move to get out of harm's way. Nice stretch pass up over the line with a Chi. His play just wide. Deflected. Rose got a piece of it. Played over to the far side. Michigan with some pressure now, deep in the Calvin end. Chi with a couple of dipsy-doos trying to get something going. Over on the far wall, Wolverines with pressure, back out to the point with a shot! Sailed just wide, taken by Belazia. Again, this one will go around the boards. Belazia will try to make a play on it. Calvin able to clear. Here comes an opportunity. Nate Silva, nifty move in the slot. There's a shot between the legs, right into the glove of Baker. You talk about dipsy-do there. Holy cow. That would have been an ESPN goal for sure if he would have got that one past Baker. Man. Michigan will control the face-off, throw it down into the Calvin end. Played around the boards to the near side. Another shot in the Nate Silva repertoire there, the between the legs shot. I'm going to have to ask him if he practices that. Eisma, he'll come in behind the goal with some wheels. He'll center one. Lammers with a drive, deflected into the slot. Sacrificing at that time was Poppy. Over to the far side, in behind the net. Calvin now with some heat. Dipsy-do move again. That time made by Clomparens. Michigan able to clear. Here's a lead pass dumped down into the zone. Cole Evans made the play. He'll go off for a change. Played over to the near side. Tipped out into the neutral zone. Eisma tipped it over to Clomparens. Now here comes Michigan. Muhammad will bring it up over the line. Drop it off far side. Give and go. Kick saved by Warose. Rebound was there, but nobody home for Michigan. Held in at the blue line by Alpern. Over to the far side. Good spin move. Dropped off over again to the far side. Odd-angled shot knocked away by Warose. Michigan with the rebound. Throwing it just wide over to the far side. Michigan still with possession in behind the goal. Out to the point with it. Blue line over to the far side. Hector Cumming, he'll throw one towards the Calvin goal, but knocked out of play. 10:17 to go. Second period, 2-1. Calvin with the lead. All the goals scored in the second period. Owen Diker is fifth. Brock Hart is eighth. Sandwiched around Henry Balagia's third for Michigan. Calvin will control the draw, thrown around the boards by Holloman. Out to the blue line, now tipped. Here comes a potential 2-on-1 up over the line. Dieleman skates it over far side, off the goal post. Over to the near side now. Played over into the corner, pinned up against the boards. Dieleman, beauty of a play, just walked in and was able to not quite get it in, but he got a lot of the iron on that one. Again, pinned up against the boards. They fight for it. It's played over to the far side. Dieleman will chase after it. Played out to the point. Schweigert has it. Off the boards and behind the goal. Holloman holds it in. Tipped around. Now played over to the near side. Michigan will come up with it. Again, pinned up against the boards. Held in by Calvin. Schweigert throws it towards the net. Dieleman gets the deflection. 9:15 to go in the period. Played over to the near corner. Schweigert will chase after it. They'll make a play on it in the face-off circle now. Held into the blue line. Now played out to center ice. Tip there, picked up by Feemster. He'll backhand it around the boards and go off for a change. Good play to hold it in by Chi. He'll throw it towards the net. Deflected over now. Coming right in. Warose has to gobble it up. As Connor Chi walked in, doorstep style, but Warose is able to glove it off with 8:47 to go here in this second period. Puck rolls after the faceoff. Calvin comes up with it in behind their own goal. They'll just clear it out to center ice. Diker couldn't quite come up with it. Now it's played out and Calvin comes up with it. Owen Diker will corral it, slow it down for a moment, then get it over cross ice. This one towards Yakinen. This one will go in behind the Michigan goal. Hodel will chase after it along with Chi. Played in behind the goal over to the far side. Again, Hodel. He and Yakinen. Sergei Yakinen throws it in behind the goal. Michigan will look to try to clear the zone. Yakinen holds it up, now out into the neutral zone. Calvin gets onside, played over on the far side. There's one kicked away by Baker. Josh Philo with the shot as it's played out to center ice. Big hit again right in front of us. Played out into the neutral zone, now tipped into the Michigan end again. Here comes Calvin, drop pass. Westrick trying to corral it. His play deflected in behind the goal. Calvin with some heat now. Lammers, high slot with a shot up over the top of the goal. Played over to the far side again. Michigan able to get control of it. They'll skate it out into the neutral zone. They'll lift it down into the Calvin end. Played over into the far corner. 7:20 to go in the period. Here come the Knights again. Here comes Redersma up over the line. He's got Lammers with them. As Baker able to make the save, and we'll get a little come together in front of the goal. 7:10 to go, second period. Still a 2-1 hockey game in favor of the Knights. Face-off will be to the right of Baker. Off the draw, there's a shot tipped as Redersma with a one-time blast off the stick of Connor Place in the slot. That one up and out of play, so we'll get another face-off down in the Michigan end. Westrick will take the draw against Poppy. They're going to kick Westrick out. Oh, they're going to put him back in. All right. Now they're going to put Andrew West in there, won by the Knights. Shot deflected in the face-off circle. West will skate it out of the zone. Dropped off. Here comes Connor Place up over the line into the slot over to the near side. Shot paddled away by Warrose over to the far side. Pinned up against the boards now. This one will be played to the right of the goal. Westrick tries to make a play on it. It's deflected in front of the Forest Hills Central sign across the way here at Patterson. 6:45 to go here in this second period. 2-1 in favor of the Knights. Face-off will be to the right of Warrose once they get the Twigs back over to the bench. Off the face-off, played over to the far side. Now out into the neutral zone, quickly up over the line. Eisma comes up over the line with a shot, rebound, deflected just wide, and played back out to center ice and back into the Calvin end. Oh, a big opportunity that time for the Knights. They brought everything but the kitchen sink at Baker that time. As now, here they come again. Lead pass up over the line, over to the far side, towards the net. Eisma tries to tip one past, and he gets a little love tap into the boards after the play. 6:10 to go, second period. Winner goes to the Vezina Cup final tomorrow night to take on the winner of Oakland and Grand Valley. Oakland had a 1-0 lead in that one thanks to a shorthanded goal. As we'll get a face-off now down in the Michigan zone again. And another broken twig brought to the Calvin bench. Over to the far side off the face-off. Thrown around the boards by Sova. Gabe Sova played it around the boards. Michigan looking to clear. They do. Here comes Muhammad up over the line. Far side, one hands it right through the goal mouth. Over to the near side. Pinned up against the boards in behind the net. Big hit in behind the goal. Sova gets his lunch handed to him. Now played back down into the Michigan end. There is no icing around the boards. Postel has it. Or check that, Sova. Now Postel in behind the goal. Little give and go. Played back there as well by Sova. Now out into the neutral zone. Tipped around, played out to center ice off the boards. Waiting for it was Muhammad. Cross ice pass! Shot into the glove of Warrose, taken that time by Drew Speaks. Warrose was shielded briefly, but able to get the glove on it. 5:20 to go, second period. Still a one-goal game. 2-1 Calvin. Face-off controlled by Michigan. Played over to the far side with a shot. Sailing wide. Played back out to the blue line. Here come the Knights. Owen Diker knocks it down, plays it up over the line. He's got Dieleman and Von Scheppen with him, but it's taken away and thrown out into the neutral zone. 5 minutes to go, second period. Still a 2-1 game. Now played back into the neutral zone again, throwing just towards the net rather. Warrose had to play it. In behind the goal. They fight for it over there. Now play held in at the blue line. Tip now. Wester, check that. Dieleman will chase after it. Menderata had the number, or the angle rather, but now Calvin comes up with it. Out to the point, Lammers. His shot in traffic knocked away again. Here comes Diker with it. Drops it off to Lammers. He throws one towards the net. Klomparens couldn't tip, or Van Scheppen rather, couldn't tip it. Now played out to the blue line, held in there. Played around the boards in behind the goal. They'll knock it down there. This one will be lifted out to center ice. Played on the hop by Chen Lin. Chen Lin tried to make a play on it. Now it's played still deep in the Michigan end. Under 4 to go in this second period. 1-goal game. Played out into the neutral zone. With it now up over the line. Here comes Poppy. He'll drop it off far side. Odd angle play deflected in behind the goal. Calvin able to lift it out. Played into the neutral zone. Nate Sova has it. He'll bring it up over the line. He'll play it into the slot area. Big hit over on the far side. Oh my. Holloman laying the hardware that time on West. Out to the blue line it goes. Good play to hold it in by Westrick. Lifted out into the high slot. Coming in. Fans wanted a penalty. Played over to the far corner. No penalty called. Out to the blue line. There's one. Shouldered away by Baker. Schweiger with the rebound. In behind the goal it goes. 3 minutes to go in the period. Played over to the far side. Tipped now into the face-off circle area. Here come Michigan. They'll skate it out to center ice. Going to be played by Balagia. He'll throw it in behind the goal. Calvin comes up with it. Michigan in the midst of a change. This one tipped back down into the Michigan end. Hart will chase after it. He's got the go-ahead goal. Played over in the near corner now. 2:35 to go in the period. Puck played over to the near corner. Redersma tries to make a play on it. He comes up with it out to the high slot with a shot again, just wide. Played in behind the goal. Nate Sova plays it out. Philo holds it in. Playing over to the near corner now. Redersma in traffic. His play wide. Hodel holds it in. He'll cycle with the puck. He'll play it to the near side. He'll backhand it over to the corner. Calvin with all kinds of pressure. Klomparens throws it wide, trying to set it up to Hodel. In behind the goal. Hodel knocked down. Played now out to the blue line, out into the neutral zone. Dropped off. Calvin comes back up with it. 1:45 to go in the period. In behind the goal. Played near side. Calvin with a bevy of chances. There's another opportunity. Good sliding play on defense by Michigan, though, as it's played out to center ice. Muhammad, he'll bring it up over the line. He's got Esterline with him. Calvin able to retrieve it rather, and throw it back down into the Michigan end. Minute 15 to go in the period. Puck loose, still loose in behind the goal. Big hit in behind the net again. Puck knocked down, and it goes back out into the neutral zone. 1 minute to go here in the second period. Lammers brings it up over the line into the slot. Rebound off the shot. Skated away by Michigan over to the near side. Puck played out into the neutral zone. Here comes Michigan. They'll try to get it up over the line. It's into the slot area. Tied up that time was Chi. And we're going to get a whistle. I think we're going to get a penalty call coming up to Calvin. I think we may get a holding call. Indeed we are, as Owen Diker will go to the box. Time of the Calvin penalty, 19-16. So here's an opportunity for the Wolverines here at the end of the second period to try to knot it up with the extra man. If not, they'll get to start the third period with the power play. Calvin wins the faceoff. Try to clear. They can't. Place holds it in. Still has it over to the near side. A little give and go with Muhammad. There's a centering play up over the stick of Schlee. Over to the far side. Knocked down by Chi. 28 seconds to go. There's one right out in front. Knocked away. And Warrose is able to glove it off and hang on with 22.7 left to go in the period. Michigan with an opportunity with the extra attacker for another 22.7 left to go here in the second period. As the faceoff will be in the Calvin zone to the left of Ryan Warrose. Muhammad will take the draw and win it for Michigan. Out to the point with it again, over to the far side now. Cross ice pass Muhammad, plays it out to the point with it. There's Place. His shot deflected in traffic. There's it over on the doorstep. Michigan comes up with it real quick. 7 seconds left. They're going to have to hurry. Over to the far side. Play tipped out to the blue line. Muhammad's play. A sliding play that time by Nate Silva rather. And the second period comes to a close. We're going to have a dandy here in this third period. No goals scored in the second period, as we get a little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of the period over in the near corner. Well, Michigan will start the third period with 1:09 left of a power play, but Calvin still holding that 2-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. All right, the Vezina Cup semifinal, a trip to the finals at stake here tomorrow night. The number one team in the land, Calvin, with a 2-1 lead over the 17th rated team, Michigan, with that right to go to the finals to take on the winner of Grand Valley and Oakland. We'll step aside. We'll be back in about 13 minutes for what should be a very entertaining third period. 2-1 Calvin here on the Calvin University Sports Channel.
I said, hey, what's up? There's a few minutes until we clear. I thought I would see what's up. That's what I said. Yeah, okay. So now you understood me. Answer the question. This is not that. I'm just asking what you guys are doing. What are you guys up to? Hey, you tell me about that.
Just stand up, I'll slide your hand.
Well, I have mine. You're right. Well, I'll let you know.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Third period just about set to go in this Vezina Cup semifinal between the number one team in the land, the Calvin Knights, and the 17th ranked Michigan Wolverines. And Calvin hanging on to a 2-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. No scoring in that second period. Michigan will have a minute 16 left of a power play to begin the third period as they look for the equalizer against the Knights. The winner of this game will advance to the championship game tomorrow night for the Vezina Cup, the MCHC Championship Tournament. They'll take on the winner of Oakland and Grand Valley, and that one is all knotted up at 1 through 40 minutes of play over there too. So two good matchups here in these semifinals of the Vezina Cup tournament. Austin Heising, the head coach of Calvin, and Jake Howard, the head coach of Michigan, giving out last-minute instructions as we begin this third period. Austin Huizinga played in a bunch of these conference tournaments back in the 2010s as a member of the Knights. Here we go, Michigan in their road whites with the Mason blue trim, blue numerals and helmets. They'll be going from right to left. Calvin in their home gold jerseys with the maroon and gold trim. Maroon helmets and numerals. They'll be going from left to right on your television, your computer, your iPhone, however you're watching us around the world. Here on the Calvin Sports Channel. Played now into the Calvin end, and the Knights will rifle it down into the Michigan zone. 25 seconds into the third period, 50 seconds left in the Michigan power play. They'll skate it out into the neutral zone. Big hit laid that time on Connor Chee as he tried to get it into the zone. Played over on the far side, Affman for the Knights. He'll just lift it down to the Michigan end. And trying to make a shorthanded play on it was Nate Sova. Now up over the line, they'll play it over into the near corner. Michigan throws it in behind the goal, looking to set it up. Over to the far side, back out to the point with it is Place. Little give and go over on the far side with Muhammad. His play right through the goal mouth as Esterline tried to make a play on it. Now in behind the goal. Esterline right out in front, it's loose, and he scores! Michigan has tied it up on the power play. And it's Hudson Schlee with his 12th goal of the year. And the Wolverines have tied it up for 2-2. And for Schlee, that is a power play goal. .112 the time of that power play goal. We've got ourselves a 2-2 tie. Hudson Schlee is 12th of the year. Okay, puck played over to the near corner now. Out into the neutral zone. Here comes Calvin up over the line near side. Played over to the corner now. Michigan comes up with it. They'll try to clear the zone. Over to the far side, odd angle play right to the goal mouth, up over the top of the goal again. Oh, Calvin, no puck luck here in the last about 21 minutes. Another golden opportunity up over the top of the goal. And we'll get a face-off in the Michigan zone. 18:09 to go, regulation time. All tied up at 2. Brock Hart will go in for the face-off against Gavin Poppy. Played out to the blue line, tipped now out into the neutral zone. Hopped up over the stick of Evans. Hodel tied up as he tried to bring it up over the line. He's able to get it over the line, over to the near side. Played back over to the high slot. Grishatov, he'll skate with the puck. Played in behind the goal. Over to the far side, now in behind the net. Off the boards, this one will be played back into the slot area. Michigan still trying to clear the zone. Good pressure being applied. Klomparens with it. Now it'll be thrown down into the Calvin end. And we'll get an icing. 2-2 tie now. Hudson Schlee with the power play goal at 1:12. As the face-off will come down into the Michigan zone. Brock Hart with it, or with the face-off rather. Won by Michigan. Good face-off win that time by Connor Chee. There's one off the side of the goal though by Klomparens over into the near corner. They'll dig away at the puck again in behind the net, centering one. High slot with a shot deflected. Out of play, 17:14 to go. Regulation time. Face off to the right of Baker, played over into the corner to the slot, or the point rather, thrown in behind the goal. Off the boards, Michigan comes up with it. Good cross ice pass up over the line. Speaks. He'll try to throw one towards net. Muhammad, he tried to center it for him. That one off the goal post. Oh my goodness. Down into the Michigan end. And we'll get an icing call. Wow, Michigan that close to taking a 3-2 lead. As the face-off will come back down into the Calvin end. This one will be to the left of Ryan Warrose. Off the draw, Michigan's got it right out in front. Oh boy, a wide open net briefly for Michigan. They've got the pressure now in the Calvin zone. Up against the boards. There's an arm, point blank range shot again. Muhammad with it. Deflected now back out into the neutral zone. Played right out in front of us and thrown back into the Calvin end. 2-2 tie, 16:25 to go, regulation time. Ottman couldn't quite come up with it. Played out into the Michigan end, stretch pass down into the Calvin end. They'll wave it off, the icing. Muhammad goes after it. He's met there by a couple of Calvin players. Ottman was able to make the play on it. Now out into the neutral zone. Menderata with it. Played back out to center ice. Now here comes Michigan again up over the line. Chi does an about face over on the left face-off circle. Now still has it. Plays it over into the corner. Diker and Von Scheppen try to clear the zone. There's a lead pass. Here come the Knights. Here comes Schweigert up over the line. Far side, whipping on the shot. Played back down into the neutral zone. Holloman will chase after it. He'll get control of the puck. He'll throw it out center ice. Quickly up over the line, near side. Dieleman into the corner. Plays it in behind the goal, looking to set it up. Now back out to the point. Played out to the blue line. Tipped in behind the goal. Owen Diker right through the goal mouth over to the far side. Schweigert holds it in. He's bounced off the puck. Played out to center ice up over the line. Schlee, he tries to make a play on it. Over to the near corner, they fight for it. Warrose will glove it off in the goal crease area. 15 minutes exactly left to go, regulation time. We've got a 2-2 tie thanks to the power play goal by Hudson Schlee at 1:12. Face-off controlled by Calvin. Hodel hounded in behind his own goal. Played around the board. Sova has it. Nate Sova will center it out into the neutral zone. Played at the blue line. Tipped and knocked down. Here comes Michigan up over the line to the far side. Played in behind the Calvin goal. Over to the near corner, they'll fight for it. Nate Sova again comes up with it. Nifty move out to center ice. Here comes Redersma and Westrick. Redersma slows it down into the high slot. There's a shot, another one off the post. Over to the near corner. That's three of them as it's played out into the neutral zone and down into the Calvin end. In behind the goal, it's played. Here come the Knights, catching Michigan maybe in a change. Nate Sova avoided a check, but it's played back around the boards into the Calvin end. Played over to the near corner, lifted out to center ice. 6 minutes gone in this third period. A 2-2 tie, played around the boards over to the far side. Tipped in front of the Michigan bench. Calvin trying to come up with it. Michigan trying to clear. They get it out into the neutral zone. Puck played back into the Calvin end. Around the boards it goes. Nate Sova will wait for it. He'll skate with the puck in his own zone. Bring it out into the neutral zone. He'll skate it down into the Michigan end. Numbers though as it's thrown down into the Calvin end, and they're going to wave off the icing around the boards. Played over to the near side. Now it's out to center ice. Lammers with a big hit right in front of us at center ice. Laying the lumber on Connor Place. In behind the goal it goes. Played over to the near side. Thrown far side over to the far wall. Place. He'll come up with it for Michigan. Couple of spin moves. They get it out of the zone. Puck deflected. back to the blue line in front of the Michigan bench. 12:53 to go, regulation time. 2-2 our score. Played off the boards out into the neutral zone. Tip now into the Michigan end. Wolverines will slow it down. Played off the boards out to center ice again. Calvin will come up with it. Holloman will have it. He'll slow it down. He'll get it over to Schweigert. Oh, good play by Michigan. Stolen away. Greg Hurst. He'll try to center one, and he's pushed up against the boards by Holloman. Puck again played out to center ice. Into the neutral zone. Skated up over the line. Coming near corner. He'll bring it in behind the net. He'll look to make a play on it over on the far wall. Still with the puck. Plays it now in behind the goal. Played there by Schlee. Oh, there's one in the slot. Calvin able to clear. Here comes Schweigert. He'll bring it up over the line near side. Backhand play in behind the net. He'll look to set it up now as he skates it out. Plays it over, but it's stolen away. Held in at the blue line, now out into the neutral zone. Back and forth they go with it. Here's a lead pass. Here comes Gabe Silva with a shot into the glove of Paul Baker. And he'll hang on. 11:38 to go. Regulation time, all tied up at 2. Face off in the Michigan zone. Off the draw, they'll fight for it there into the corner. Gabe Silver, Dieleman rather, tries to come up with it, but his pocket is picked. Stretch pass tipped down into the Calvin end, high off the glass. Around the boards it goes. Cole Evans chasing after it. He's bounced off the puck. Played over to the near side. Calvin looking to clear. Puck held in. Good play, though, by Andrew West. Calvin will come up with it. Oh, big hit laid over in the far corner by West. Played back out now into the neutral zone. Calvin tries to come up with it. Owen Diker knocked down. Played through the slot area in the Michigan zone. Under 11 to go now in the third period. Puck played out to center ice. They'll shimmy back and forth after it. Now back into the Calvin end. Dieleman will skate with it in behind his own goal. Stretch pass tipped by Westrick down into the Michigan end. Puck knocked down into the neutral zone again, back into the Calvin end. Halfman, he's in a little bit of trouble now as it's deflected, held in at the blue line by Place. Plays it over to the far side. There's one in traffic, knocked away by Will Rose. Now over on the far side, Calvin looking to clear. They'll play it out to center ice. Up over the line with it near side, Redersma. His pocket is picked, but he comes up with it again in the corner. Back out to the point, Halfman. He'll throw it towards the net, kicked away. Rebound! Knocked down by Silva. Back out to the point with a shot. Deflected over on the far side. Halfway through this third period. 2-2 tie. Up over the line, Speaks. He'll drop it off to Muhammad. He tries to make a play on it. Speaks has it over on the far side. Westrick will come up with it. He'll play it out into the neutral zone. Here comes Nate Silva up over the line. Calvin in the midst of a change. Nifty move near corner. Played over off the boards. Still down deep in the Michigan end. They kick away at it over in the corner. Chopping away at it, Silva. Centers one! He scores! What a beautiful play to set it up! And it's Ian Schweigert with the goal! Time of the Calvin goal! 10 minutes and 32 seconds. And it's 3-2 Knights. What a setup on that goal, a one-time blast. Paul Baker had no chance as Ian Schweigert gets his fourth goal of the year, and Calvin back on top now 3-2. .10:32, the time of the go-ahead goal. 3-2 now, Calvin back on top. Played in behind the goal over on the near side. Michigan trying to clear. Held in at the blue line, but the Wolverines try to come up with it. Tipped again, back down on the far wall. Under 9 to go now, regulation time, 3-2 Calvin. Michigan will clear it out to center ice. Lead pass tipped down into the Calvin end. Andrew West will chase after it. Pinned up against the boards. The Knights have it. They'll play it back out and get it out of the zone. Good play by Hodel. Played back out to the Michigan blue line. Wolverines will come up with it. Muhammad will come up with it. He'll skate it out of the zone over to the near side. Walk in. There's one in behind the goal. Thrown around the boards and back out into the neutral zone. This one will find its way down into the Michigan end for an icing. But Ian Schweigert, his 4th of the year, has put Calvin back up by the score of 3-2 with 8:13 to go, regulation time. Face-off will be to the left of Ryan Warrose. A spot in the Vezina Cup final tomorrow night on the line for these two teams. Calvin with a 3-2 lead. They'll skate it out of the zone. Klomparens will dump it down into the Michigan end. Postel with a play that's kicked away by Baker. Here come the Wolverines. They'll bring it up over the line the other way. Esterline, his pocket is picked. Held in and then tipped right into the front pocket of head coach Austin Heisinger, as the face-off will be down to the left of Ryan Warrose with 7:51 to go. Regulation time, Calvin clinging to a 1-goal lead. Off the draw, played over in the far corner around far side. They try to make a play on it, but Calvin there to recover. Puck tipped around now. Here's an opportunity. Here comes Dieleman near side up over the line. What a shot! Baker with a big save. Played over on the far side. Dieleman will try to make another play on it. Michigan there to try to clear, but they can't. Pinned up against the wall over on the far side. They fight for it there. Tipped over into the near far corner rather. Connor Place tries to clear. This one will be tipped down into the Calvin end. There will be no icing. 7:10 to go. Regulation time, a 1-goal lead for the Knights. Played over on the far side, tipped out into the neutral zone. This one's going to find its way down into the Michigan end. Around the boards it goes. Dieleman waiting for it. He's being hounded down there by Alpern. Now played over to the blue line. Westrick holds it in. Cumming will chase after it for Michigan. He'll play it around the boards, lifted but not on. And it did hop over the stick of Holloman down into the Calvin end. Schweigert will skate with it over to the near corner. Holloman will chase after it. Played out to the blue line. Now tipped over to the far side. Schweigert with the go-ahead goal. Will play it over to the near side. 6:25 to go. Regulation time. Now up over the line with it. Sova gets his pocket pick. Redersma there. He'll play it in behind the goal over to Sova. Westrick there to make a play on it as well. There's one right out in front, poked away by Baker right at the last minute. Nifty move by Westrick to put it teed up right on the doorstep. But we've got 6:12 to go here in this third period. 3-2 Calvin on top of Michigan. Over on the far side, controlled by Klomparens. Pinned up against the boards, now knocked over to the near side. Michigan will come up with it. 6 minutes to go, third period. Played down into the Calvin end. Grishatov will play it there. He'll get it to Hodel. Hodel will come up with it, far side, played around the boards. Tipped now out into the neutral zone. Michigan has to retreat with it. Puck tipped high in the air to the Calvin blue line. Played up over the line. Spin move, lead pass to Klomparens. Klomparens will play it. Cross ice. Now lifted out into the neutral zone. Off the wall, Klomparns will bring it up over the line. Near side, odd angled shot off the side of the goal. Played over on the far side. Puck held in at the blue line, in behind the goal. Connor Place will chase after it. In behind the net it goes. Played over to the far side. Here's a giveaway. There's a play deflected over to the near corner. Puck still deep in the Michigan zone. Hopped over the stick of Halfman. Calvin has to regroup with it. Postel will throw it around the boards. Under 5 to go now in this third period. Played around to the far side. Postel will chase after it. In behind the net as he and Otson try to make a play on it. Still deep in the zone. Gabe Sova now comes up with it. He'll drop it off for Postel. Michigan looks to corral the puck. Tipped now. They've got control. Over to the far side. Connor Place will chase after it. Played out to center ice. This one will roll down into the Calvin end. No icing. Played around the boards deep in the Calvin end. Under 4.5 to go. Played over in the far corner. This one lifted, held in. Throwing wide of the goal. Michigan there for the carom. That play deflected over to the near side. And again, back over to the far side. Calvin able to clear. This one's going to bound his way down into the Michigan end for an icing. 4:03 left to go, third period. Michigan tied it at 2 early in the third period. Hudson Schlee on the power play. His 12th of the year, but Ian Schweigert the go-ahead goal at 10:32. That's the difference right now. 3-2 our score. I think we're going to get a Calvin timeout. Indeed we are. So 4:03 to go. They're going to talk about it. Calvin clinging to a 3-2 lead. Here in this Vezina Cup semifinal, the winner will get the winner of Oakland and Grand Valley. They were 1-1 going into the third period there. Those two teams in the top 10 in the ACHA in Division III. Their tickets are punched for St. Louis. March 18th is when the D3 tournament starts. Calvin, of course, ranked number 1. Michigan right on the bubble. They're right at 17. A win here tonight, a comeback win, would really help their chances of getting one of those last spots into the national tournament. The top 16 get in. All right. Jake Howard giving his last-minute instructions to his Wolverines. Austin Heisinger his to his Knights. As the face-off will be to the left of Warrose. Owen Diker will take the draw for the Knights, as they're going to wave out Connor Chi, and they're going to put in Hudson Schlee. Won by the Wolverines, out to the blue line with it. Right in front of us, Donikowski's play over to the far wall. Dieleman comes up with it. Played down into the Michigan end. I think we are going to get another icing. We do. Now 3:48 to go. Here in this third period, Calvin 3, Michigan 2. Face off to the left of Warrose. Still in the face-off circle, knocked down into the slot, backhanded out of the zone again. And another icing call, 3:39 to go. And another face-off in the Calvin zone. Face-off will be to the left of Warrose. Again, it's going to be Owen Diker. He's going to go up against Connor Chi. This one fought for over on the far side. Face-off circle held in. There's a blast. Rebound knocked away, and Warrose will hang on. Alpern with the blast. from just inside the blue line. Moreau is able to make the save. Boy, taking a lot of abuse in front of the goal. Greg Hurst looking to try to tip one past Moreau's. 3:32 to go here in this third period. Another face-off in the Calvin end. These get bigger and bigger every time. Still knocked down in the face-off circle. Now the Knights come up with it. Philo will throw it around the boards. This one tipped out to center ice. Here comes Rodersma, one-handing it towards the net. Deflected away by Baker. Here come the Wolverines. They'll skate it out of the zone. Dumped down into the Calvin end. Played in behind the goal. Played around the boards, back out to center ice. Sam Alpern will come up with the puck. 3 minutes to go, regulation time. Here's a giveaway. Here comes Rodersma. Oh, good play by Hector Cumming. Throwing him around the boards in behind. There's a wraparound try, and he scores! Nate Silva took away the puck in behind the goal, and the wraparound try snuck through the wickets of Paul Baker, and it's 4-2 Calvin. Time of the goal, 17:09. Oh, a big goal for the Knights. Puck played in behind the goal. We'll keep an eye now on Paul Baker. There's one knocked down and back into the neutral zone. We'll see if they pull him for the extra attacker, down 2 goals. Puck tipped around, back down into the Michigan zone. Oh, a big hit. Laid by Brock Hurth on Connor Place. Back out to center ice, and Baker came off for the extra attacker, but offside will be the call. And we'll get a draw just outside the Calvin blue line. A big goal, the wraparound variety by Nate Silva. And it's 4-2. Face-off controlled by Michigan. They'll throw it down around the boards. We'll keep an eye on Baker. Played to the blue line. He's off for the extra attacker. Here comes Dieleman. He'll come in, and he scores! Joel Dieleman with the empty netter. 17:58, the time of the goal. And that could be Katie bar the door now, 5-2. And for Joel Dieleman, that'll be his 9th of the year. Nate Silva, that was his 12th of the year. And it's 5-2 now, Calvin on top. Played over to the far side. Michigan will kick it out into the neutral zone. 1:45 to go now. Calvin with a 5-2 lead over Michigan, as they now are trying to hang on to set their sights for a Vezina Cup final appearance tomorrow night against the winner of Oakland and Grand Valley. Now here comes Michigan up over the line to the far side. Big hit in front of the Calvin bench, as we're down to 1:15 to go here in regulation time. Boy, oh boy, Calvin showing why they're ranked number 1 in the country. Played now up over the line near side. Tommy Postel tried to center one for Gabe Silva. A minute to go as it's back out into the neutral zone. Calvin on their way to a Vezina Cup championship game appearance tomorrow night. Played over near far side in behind the goal. Wraparound try. Yakinen tried to add to the Calvin lead with 44.2 left to go. Well, This one will be played over now to the left of Baker. The face-off, that is. Into the face-off circle area, right out in front again, and Baker makes the save. 38.8 left to go here in the third period. Face-off to the left of Baker. Puck knocked down out to the blue line, held in and thrown around the boards. Sova plays it over to the near side. Half a minute to go. Pinned up against the boards again, now played around off the high glass. Hodel had to hop over his stick back out to center ice. Now played down into the Michigan end. 15 seconds to go. Calvin on their way to a Vezina Cup championship game appearance, as Michigan will just throw the puck up against the boards, and that's going to do it. Our final score, Calvin 5, Michigan 2. Third period goal, Hudson Schlee for Michigan at 1:12. Tied it up at 2. But then Ian Schweigert on a beautiful setup at 10:32 made it 3-2. And then Nate Sova on the wraparound at 17:09 gave the Knights a 2-goal lead, and then Joel Dieleman with the insurance goal, the empty netter, gave us our final score of 5-2. So now the best tradition in all of sports, the handshake line at center ice, as these two teams congratulate each other, as Calvin will move on to the championship game tomorrow night. We'll have it for you right here tomorrow at 7:30. Well, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, if not the outcome, as we want to thank everybody for taking time out to be with us here on the Calvin Sports Channel. However you watched us around the world, as the Knights advance over Michigan to the championship game. All right, we'll see you back tomorrow night for that championship game here from Patterson Ice Center here in Grand Rapids. Once again, our final score, 5-2 Calvin over Michigan. Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.